Hey everybody, welcome to the 189th episode of Super Joystick Radio, a weekly gathering of friends here to talk about all things video games. My name is Andy Halder, and I'm joined by one of my favorite party members, Justin D.
Good morning, everybody.
Today we'll be discussing the Resident Evil Village demo, PS Plus Video Pass, and some bad news for Blizzard. But first, what have we been playing? Justin, you want to take us off?
Sure. So, I have been, streaming recently here my trials through Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. Dude, freaky as hell. I don't play a lot of scary games at all, really, ever. And so this one, like, I played Resident Evil 2, the remake. I didn't play 3. But I was like, you know what? I'll give this one a shot. I wanted to play it for a long time. It was on sale, and I thought it'd be funny to play it in the dark. That shit intensifies it so much, dude. Oh yeah, Tyler, I definitely have plenty of clips of me freaking out. I've got highlights here that'll be playing here in just a moment. But yeah, I'm not that far into the game, so you can see me on the left hand of the screen here, and yeah, I put together some highlights of.
You're like, oh.
Oh no, there's some better ones too, because like yeah, dude, it's just
I have the audio on there too. Let me get that down.
Oh, do you? Okay,
yeah.
Cool. Yeah, because you'll hear me swearing like a motherfucker.
It'll just sound confusing.
Yeah, it will. It's also very loud.
Yeah, so I played this in VR actually a long time ago, but I've played it recently. Jeez, this is so like insane. Yeah. No kid could play this. It would definitely ruin them forever.
Yeah, it's really intense, man.
It's so brutal. Okay, so I was playing this in VR, and then I had some friends over the other week, and we played this. I was showing them this in VR, and I got to this part. I'm like, okay, I put the headset down. I'm like, you got to play this now. And it was just like super intense, and we were all freaking out, and it's hilarious. Yeah,
I can only imagine this game in VR.
It's horrifying.
Yeah, horrifying. Yeah, it's probably the best way to put it. So I can only get through about 30 minutes or so before my little heart gives out, and it's like, nah, I'm good. So this is one that I'm not gonna do giant dumps of clips for, because I probably will be shitting myself crazy. So anyways, I do enjoy the fact that so far I've not seen any like mindless zombies. I
just love your look in the lower left corner is so funny. Yeah. You're just like wide-eyed, like what's gonna happen?
Right.
So funny.
So anyways, yeah. So, oh yes, we were playing the Village. We'll talk about that here in a bit. Here, sorry. But man, that that was him playing last night. But again, I like the fact that it's not just a pure zombie game. I don't know if zombies show up later on, but again, I'm not a fan of zombies. I think like they're the lowest form of like creative undead. So I don't get like in on like zombie movies or zombie video games so much, but I just love turning the corner and then someone was there a moment ago, like at that table when you're first like, in the family or whatever like that, and they're sitting there eating that really fucking nasty ass food, and there's the grandma that looks like she's like dead off to your left.
Yeah.
And she's the only one that's left at the table when everyone walks away. And so then you get a chance to break out of your chair and kind of like walk around the house a little bit. And like I walked into like what seemed to be like a living room, and I turned back around. She's not there anymore.
Whoa.
So like that shit,
Sneaky grandma,
bro. So yeah, there's just like this like slow trickle of fear. And dude, it's just intense. So I don't know. I can't imagine how huge this house is going to be, because playing Resident Evil 2 with that entire police station to work with it in parts of the city, that just seemed big, and I'm playing in just a house. So like, already I'm finding it like the corner. I feel like kind of like claustrophobic, like the corners and the house and like the hallways.
That's
and
intentional,
like that.
I'm sure. Yeah, that's part of the thing that elevates the fear. This game totally feels like to me, and I didn't get much farther than what you described with the family eating and stuff. I think there's a part where this guy chases you and stuff, but this definitely doesn't feel like a traditional Resident Evil game as much, with the first person for one, and then two, it's kind of like a House of a Thousand Corpses kind of thing, or like Texas Chainsaw Massacre or something. Like you're imprisoned in this farmhouse, and this crazy fucking messed up family is like just trying to kill you, which is awesome.
Yeah. I'm still trying to figure out the whole antiseptic thing, like just dumping random medicine on yourself. I don't remember that being in 2. I felt like he bandaged himself up, but in this one he just dumps like a vial of like medicine or whatever, and is like, oh, I've got Wolverine powers. Oh, fuck this part, dude.
Yeah.
I jumped so hard here. Yeah, so
well, it used to be herbs, right? Because you have like the green herbs.
Oh yeah. But now it's like full on medicine, and so yeah, I clipped this part together. This one's a good jump. I love this one. Yeah.
I was like,
yeah, no.
I'm just watching the clip.
Yeah.
Yeah,
oh,
man. VR, this is intense because as you can also tell, this whole game is like in your face.
Right.
Like it's first person, but it's also like, they make it a point to like get in your face. And when you have that headset on and you can't take it off,
yeah,
it feels like you're there. Like the house is so run down and like, everything's just so creepy.
Yeah, there were parts where like you'd like see someone like walking by and you'd be like, no, I don't want to go that way. Why are you making me go that way, you bastards?
Oh, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, they're chopping your hand off.
Yeah.
Dude, I thought it was comical that you could pick up the hand after she chops it off. I was like, yeah, that's my hand.
I'm not sure I realized that.
Yeah, I was like, that's probably one of my favorite parts is just like kind of how campy this can be at times.
Just
and
pour
like,
some antiseptic on it. It's fine.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Anyways, I just love how creepy this game is. I love the scares. There's about 8 minutes. Yeah, right. Yeah. There's about 8 minutes worth of just these highlights or whatever, and there's a couple good ones still left on here. But again, I love the scares, the graphics, and everything like that. So I died right here at this spot where like you climb the ladder and she like chops through it. I was like, wait, I'm hearing like the thing. Where's it coming from? And then I look up and then she's like coming through the window or whatever like that. The first time around that I did this, and then she fucking just like demolished me, like just like she put the chainsaw straight into my torso and then just like ripped my body straight wide open. So I had to do a little recon before I went to that window. So then I was like, okay, cool, because I can't, for whatever reason, I'm not very good at aiming.
You are putting the antiseptic on your stump.
Yeah, right.
Like this'll save my arm.
Yeah, right. So then I run into here and then I hide behind these boxes like a little bitch, and I'm like, come through that door. And then she straight up shinings me and just like cuts through the fucking door and like breaks through it. I'm like, not today.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I was like, nah. Take all these shots.
I forgot how cinematic this game is too.
Oh, it's so great. I love it. Again, the graphics are great. Sound is on point. I can't wait to play more, but I really, I was like, is she gonna get back up? I don't know. I'm not. Then I was like, oh man, maybe I can get the chainsaw. I was like, yeah, right. I know. It's like I think I need 2 hands for that probably.
Oh yeah, I guess you would, wouldn't you? Or you could like ash it from Evil Dead, and you could attach it to your stump.
Yeah,
that'd be amazing.
So here's a good one. Here's a good jump. That was fun.
Yeah, they always have people pop out at you. Okay, so where can people watch this video to actually see your reactions? So
go to Twitch and you can just search me up here. It should be under Rygar. But yeah, that's it's oh man, good time. Yeah, if you want to watch me just like completely shit myself, for 30 minutes, yeah, that entire clip is there. Again, just love the creepiness. I can't wait for Resident Evil 8 to come out because we did play the demo. We're going to talk about that here in a few moments. But
first, I want to hear about Near Replicant.
Oh yes, absolutely. That game. So I promised I wouldn't ruin anything. I promised I wouldn't spoil anything. I'm not going to.
I'm trying to get it from GameFly, but I had a few issues trying to send my last game back. I guess I put it in the mailbox that already had mail in it. So when they came, they just put more mail in it instead of taking my game. So I didn't realize it for like 2 days, and I'm like, no. So it's between either that or what is that game that starts with an R for PS5? I forget what it's called. Something or other. Returnal.
Oh, Returnal. Yeah.
Yeah.
That also looks fucking badass.
If I get either one, I'll be happy. But yeah, I'm really excited about Near Replicant. So sock it to me.
Yeah. So, full disclaimer: I didn't play Nier when it first came out. Now I know this, falls into the to the realm of the Drakengard games. So, like, they're all like within the shared same universe. And I played the first 2 Drakengard games, and then I played Nier Automata, but I never played Nier back in 2010 is when I think it came out initially. And so I have no real reference or frame of reference of sort of like what this game looked like back then. And I didn't look up a video just to kind of like, see it. I know they've updated the graphics. I know that what they also did too is they added full voice acting, which was not present in. Yeah. So it's really cool. It makes that world feel more alive instead of just reading like blocks of text or whatever. I'm not terribly too far into this game. I would say I'm a couple hours in, and I've been taking my slow ass time just because I've been just kind of just enjoying the world and enjoying the music, and just leveling up and kind of just playing through it. So anyways, there's a lot of love here for it because I'm a huge fan of the Nier series just to begin with, just with Automata. I'm still waiting and I'm still waiting for Square to make a remake of the Drakengard games. Like that would be fucking awesome. Because it was straight up like you literally form like a blood pact with a dragon, and then it's like Dynasty Warriors meets like crazy aerial combat with dragons. It's so cool.
Interesting.
They did come out with a third one for the PlayStation 3, but it like got such shit reviews. So like I hope they decide to go back to it. But the combat in this game is super fluid. Like I wanted to capture a lot of that sort of like exploration and combat, just walking through this area. Yeah, a lot of fun. I
love the art style. It looks a lot like Automata did.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They mirrored it pretty much identically out of it. But I will say that, like it does have sort of, it's not sci-fi, right, at all. Like there's no, at least so far from what I've seen, it looks like maybe what had happened was, and again, I'm not too far into the game or the story, but I think there was like something that happened that, sort of brought everyone back to the dark ages, with technology and everything like that. Because there are remnants of like older structures from like the New Age or whatever like that. But I mean, people's walking around with like fucking swords. So I mean, like, it's
I
hard.
love this. The gameplay that's showing right now is you just went from like a third person to like a side-scrolling platformer.
Yep.
And that's one of the things I liked about Automata so much is that it changed up the gameplay mechanics like constantly. And they had everything from like top down to like side-scrolling plane shooters, like shooting games, and platforming and puzzles, just all these puzzles and things. And I just love all those mechanics switch ups. It makes it really fresh.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, it does. And like, I wanted to kind of capture like the way that it looks like when you go in and out of it. So here, like at the end of this clip or whatever, you'll see me kind of like transition onto a bridge, and you're immediately thrown back into like the third person view, which is really nice. Like, boom, like there's no like lag, there's no like break in that or whatever. So it's really cool. So again, the combat's a lot of fun. You can parry and block, and when you do it successfully, you actually throw people back on like, and you can like make a huge attack. It's actually pretty cool. Like I do it against this big guy right here. So I'm trying to cut through his
What's this floating book that's following you around?
So okay, you know how like you have that machine that floats around with you in Nier in Automata? That's pretty much the identical thing.
Okay.
I don't want to give it away to what it's the extent of its being or whatever like that. So here we go. Here's the block. It's coming now. Boom.
Nice.
Yep. So it's fun. I like to play it. I like to try to at least get those on big baddies. Let's see here. So big bosses are back now. I'm going to kind of point out right
lingerie here.
Yeah, I don't understand this. So this is Kane, and I believe she's the main character really of this game, or like someone you'll play as. I don't really understand her outfit like at all. Like at least with the Nier, it's their maids. So like they're servants. So like again, like they're robots. It kind of fits in there with that. This is weird. Like this lady is like straight up wearing like underwear that's like laced up her ass, and it's like not even covering. It's crazy. And I'm like, what is the point of that? Like, I mean, there's so many examples of like attractive and sexy women that are like, dressed in armor or like wearing a costume. Like if you look at like Chun-Li from Street Fighter, I mean, like, yeah, like that costume right there, it's pretty revealing, but also at the same time, it's like it covers, and it's functional. This is like, why? I mean, she's fighting with two swords.
Oh yeah, that's ridiculous.
And she uses magic. Like it's just so strange. Like I never understood like why.
It's just the art style. Obviously, they weren't designing it to be like, functional or practical. It's just like a style.
Yeah.
Full on stylization type of thing.
Right. But anyways, big bosses are back. So this is a fight that you have with this character here. And then you have this giant boss that shows up after this attack here goes down with her. And it's really kind of a crazy ass monster. Like, it looks so weird. It's huge.
Oh, yeah.
And you'll see it here pretty soon. Yeah, there it is. And it looks like it has 12 ball sacks underneath its chin.
And a butt hand or a butt, or like a butt fist or something.
Yeah, it's a weird like scorpion thing or whatever. It's just disturbing. But again, it's that fantasy aspect versus that machine and robot kind of thing from Automata. So really, those are the again, the giant bosses I'm super stoked with. The lock-on system made this fight a little bit more challenging. I wish I had turned that off or had been applying that to the right thing, because I was just running around, and then there's these shock waves that he puts down, and the camera, I would say, is another issue that I've not really liked that much. And I think I can turn up the like how intense my
sensitivity.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, no, that fight is pretty awesome. I did enjoy that a lot too. So, I do have another issue too with the game is their map is not connected either, so it's all fragmented. Kind of like how a traditional like JRPG is, but it's not the system or the whatever the program is that it's using is not strong enough to like keep it all interweave together, like where it has to have like a load screen, and I don't like that, because like in Nier Automata there wasn't, like the whole world was connected. I don't remember it loading very much at all.
Right. Yeah. No, I don't.
And
think
with
so.
this one, between like going from one place to the other, you could wait like 1 to 2 minutes. Maybe on the 5, if you're playing it on the 5, maybe it's a little bit faster. But yeah, I've just noticed that like the load time between areas is very frustrating.
Well, it is. It is an older game, so the design was different than obviously with what did it come out on PS2? Then?
3.
Oh, 3. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. That's unfortunate. I want a brand new Nier game.
Yeah.
I really want it to be a sequel to Automata, personally.
Yeah.
That's what I would like to see.
Right.
Because I like the robots and stuff like that. I know you don't like the technology as much, but,
I love the games. I mean, I'm not going to...
That's true, you do.
I did, yeah. So, and it's mostly just because of the fighting style, too. And I don't know. I went into it thinking like, okay, well, this is robots. This isn't like Final Fantasy. So, but I loved it, and so this and Resident Evil 7 is what I'll be playing for a little bit until Resident Evil 8, which comes out next week, and then Mass Effect, the remaster collection. Yeah, dude, I can't wait for that.
That's crazy.
Mass Effect was my shit.
Resident Evil's coming out already.
I know.
Week. That's nuts. All right, well, let's get into that then. Resident Evil Village demo is just crazy madness.
Yeah.
So I'm going to actually back this up a smidge. So basically, in the demo, it's kind of 2 demos, actually, because you get to choose if you want to play the castle area or the village area. So the original PlayStation exclusive PS5 demo that had come out before was in the castle. And
it was for like 8 hours, too, wasn't it?
It wasn't. It was out for like... I think it was out for 8 hours or whatever, but you couldn't, you couldn't play it that long. I mean, I guess you could. There was no time limit, but there also wasn't any attacking or anything like that.
Yeah.
So it was very different, and it is not.
I'm sorry, that was more like a visual demo. I'm talking about, I guess, recently here within the last couple of weeks they released the castle playable. Yeah, and that was only available for 8 hours.
Yes, that's true. Yes, I didn't play that one, which I think is just this.
Okay.
And that's all it was. It was just out for PlayStation platforms earlier.
Yeah.
Anyways, I was just talking about the original Village demo, and there's like areas in this game that were in that, but you kind of go like backwards, which is really cool. It's in the castle. So in the original demo, you started it out there's like a jail area, like, and you're locked up in there, and then you have to escape and then get into the castle. And in this, in the castle portion, you actually have to get into that dungeon and then get through it. So there's some gameplay of that on here. You probably won't see because it's far along here, but I just thought it was cool that it wasn't, the same thing that I played before.
Right.
And the 2 demos are like really different too. Like you're outside with the village demo. So it's like much brighter. There's snow but everything is like, old looking and run down and dead, trees and all that kind of stuff. But it's still scary being outside. You just saw a video of this giant werewolf thing like attacking me, and I'm trying to like stab it with my little knife, and it doesn't do very much. So I quickly realized that you don't need to or can't probably kill them. You just have to get away from them. Because the other thing about the village area of the demo is that it's much more story driven. So you're interacting with different characters, and then there's kind of like a few cinematic sequences that are coming up here. And whereas with the castle demo, it's more like an action and exploration thing. Like you can shoot a couple of enemies out here in the village area, but in the castle area, you actually have to fight and kill some zombie things or demons or whatever the hell they are.
Yeah.
So I did the village one first, as you can see, and then I did the castle. Which one did you choose?
So I did the castle.
Okay, cool. So what did you think?
So I want to like it, but it was so frustrating because like I load in when you first load that demo up, you're in this random room within the castle. You've gotten free of your shackles, and now you're kind of trying to like traverse like these locked doors or whatever, and that's fine. And then you get to like spots where like you would end up like coming to spots where you would need like a certain item, like in most Resident Evil games, like there's like a hidden item or something, like a key item to get you through a fucking thing. And I could not figure out that puzzle. I couldn't figure out the puzzle for 20-25 minutes. And now I kind of want to go back and like start over the demo from 0 minutes so that I know exactly where I'm going and how to get to it. Because if you haven't played it, you'll notice the first key item that you get, and the only key item that you get in that first area, is a ring with an eye. Take that ring, examine it, and then take the fucking eye out of the ring.
Yeah.
And then that's how you get through the door. Because it's this little like lady that's missing her eye, and that's what you do. I didn't get that for 20 minutes. And I was so pissed because I was like, I'm not seeing any enemies. I'm like not fighting anything. I found the fat guy that's selling items or whatever like that. And he was funny.
Huge fat guy too. He's not just fat. He's like a giant.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Massive. And he's just hiding up in this one little room, and he's selling you stuff to like, give you a better chance at surviving. But anyways,
that puzzle that you missed is like a total classic adventure game trope, where like you have some item in your inventory and you do all these other things and you walk around, you're like, where am I supposed to go, what am I supposed to do? And then finally you look in your inventory and you're like, what can I use this for? And then in this game it's even worse because you actually have to rotate the item in your inventory to like get to like see the button pop up. But then finally you see that and you're like, oh. So since I've been playing stuff like that, I've had that happen to me so many times in the past that I automatically look at everything when I get it in my inventory, just like turn it around, and especially in like Resident Evil games, just to make sure there isn't some weird thing that you have to like pull off of the item or whatever. There's something like that in the village portion too. There's this section where you have to take these car keys, and inside the car keys there's like, or on the keychain there's like this little, I don't know, like pocket, and you have to rotate it around. They make it apparent that you need to do this because there's like a note that says like take the screwdriver from the keys or something, like, or keychain or something like that. Like someone left the note for you.
Right.
And then earlier you also find a thing that you, like an area where you need a screwdriver. It's like, oh, if I only had a screwdriver. So, I mean, they kind of beat you over the head with it for that.
Right.
But you're right. I don't think they make any like allusion to the eye in the ring kind of thing.
I know. I was so frustrated because I was like going up to every desk that I could and like checking every table, and I was like, "What is?" And then
Side note on that: did you notice that every table, the only drawer that opens is the far right one?
Yeah, I did notice that.
It's so odd. Like, why?
Yeah.
Why can't you just pick another drawer?
Yeah, right.
Maybe it's the demo part, but so did you get through the door?
I did get through the door, and then I
good.
fought Bug Lady or whatever, her whatever she is.
Bug Lady.
I'm gonna call her Bug
that.
Lady. Yeah, because I got swarmed by it. I feel like they were locusts or were they bats?
It seems like locusts would make more sense to me.
Yeah.
So she was in the original demo that I played, the one a couple months ago or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I saw the bats, I'm like, oh, or whatever, locusts or whatever, I'm like, oh shit, here she comes. Yeah. But it wasn't as scary to me because I had seen it before. But in this one, I thought she was going to kill me. I had given up all hope because I was not moving fast enough to like, get away from her. And it was just like terrifying. I'm like, where do I go? I can't go anywhere. Everything's locked.
You've got one room, you've got a door in front of you in a long hallway, and then I was like trying to go in between everything.
I think
and like try to like
video this. Oh yeah, here she is. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think they might be bats, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, they're like bugs of some kind.
Yeah, there's something. But when she first popped out of like the because I never watched that first demo because again it was just a PS5. Mm-hmm. So I went down the hallway and into this room. So I obviously that door is locked and like that sucks. So I'm down in this room. Yeah, right. And they're chasing you like crazy. Oh shit!
And she like munches on you too.
Oh, see, I didn't get to that part.
So this is where I'm like frantically like, where do I go? She's like all up on me, and I finally found this door and I got through it.
Yeah.
And
Go
ahead.
Did you buy the shotgun?
No, I upgraded my pistol like a moron. And what's funny? Pistols always suck in these games, but I thought, well, I can upgrade my fire rate or my rate of fire and the power of the pistol. So I thought they probably are expecting me to like buy the shotgun. So I'm going to do this and maybe it will be, maybe it'll be a little easier for me. And no, it wasn't. But most of these characters, it's irrelevant. The weapon's irrelevant anyways, because like this is a story character. You're not going to kill her.
Right. But with the shotgun though, you slow her down.
Oh, okay.
Like she like dissipates.
Yeah, here I think I finally got her to go away.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then you gotta jeez. It's still scary.
Yeah. Right. And I didn't realize this thing was right there. And then it probably took me like 4 or 5 minutes just to realize that there was another way to get around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then down here, all the fucking zombies, man. Whatever we're gonna call them, experiments or whatever. Yeah. And I got rocked here.
The infected, perhaps? I don't know.
Yeah.
How much did you have enough shotgun ammo?
No, because it's expensive. So the shotgun itself, I think, costs 5,000.
Yeah, which is what
ammo for
should be what you have, right? Like I think that's all you have.
That's basically all that you have, and then you could pick up. There was a goblet that you could pick up, and you could sell to that guy for 3,500.
Oh, I didn't realize you could sell that. I was wondering what that was for. They call them treasures. Okay, yes. So that's a pro tip.
Yes. So I sold that, and then I found a little bit of cash on the side. So I bought shotgun, and it was it was 800 for just 5 of them. So I wish that I had bought the thing on how to like make shotgun shells because I think
giant vampire lady.
Yep. So she shows up here. It was really cool. I was happy I got to see her, but I didn't get to see her anytime after this point.
No. And did you finish the demo then?
No, not at all. Like, okay. I got to the part where like I got mobbed by like 12 of those like weird vampire things. Like it literally ate my face, and I was like, all right, I'm out.
Wait, was it the things that are in the dungeon? Like the zombie things,
the
or whatever I'm calling them? Okay.
Yep.
I don't think I ever got to 12. At the most, I think there was ever 4 for me. So this whole experience, you could only play for an hour. Yep. And if the village portion took me 31 minutes, so I'm like, okay, cool. Like, hopefully if I like haul ass, then I can still finish the other section.
This is a cool puzzle. I like this one, the fire puzzle.
Really? I thought this was kind of silly. Like,
really?
Well, just because it's first person and you don't use your hands. So basically there's this thing floating in the middle of the room and you have to use your face to push it over to a torch to like light the other torches. and it's just awkward. Like why didn't they just have a thing where you press or hold X or something and your hand comes out and then you just move it over or something? It's just super awkward and weird.
Yeah.
But anyways, it's funny. And yeah, I mean, it was, I do like the puzzle aspect of it. But, yeah. So anyway, I didn't end up finishing the castle part because I ran out of time, which sucks because I think I was pretty close. And I'm willing to bet at the end, you probably have another encounter with giant vampire lady. Cause you did actually, that's how the demo ended last time, in the original one. So yeah, how about this dungeon? This is some creepy stuff.
Oh, dude, it was so creepy.
There's like all these torture devices and chairs of death.
There's the iron masks and stuff.
Mm-hmm. And then it's really dark, so you have a flashlight if you're not watching the video version here. And as you're walking around, obviously, when you get into certain areas, you start to hear like kind of stuff, and you're like, oh, where are they going to come from? Because it's pretty open, and there's a lot of corridors. And then, of course, this door just like swings open by itself.
Yeah.
Scary.
I know, man. I'm excited to play this game. I really am. I don't know if I'm going to play this one in the dark or not.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure it's in VR too. If I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong about that, but I thought I had heard that it was also going to be in VR. And I don't know if I can play this in VR. I'll be honest with you. I'm not sure I can play it in general. I do like scary games, but I'm just such a big wuss.
Oh man, I'm really looking forward to it. I mean it's gonna be a much needed game for such a long time. There hasn't been, like, for me, there hasn't been a whole lot that's been on the horizon for me to play. And so yeah, dude. So these things were crazy, and they're so powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they just don't fucking die.
See, I think your shotgun is not accurate enough. So I had, a lot of cheap, shitty ammo, and you can craft more ammo because you do pick up stuff to make that, but you can't. Yeah. I don't think you can make ammo for the shotgun, right?
Well, you can buy the blueprints to do it, and that's like 4 Gs. And so, like, I had enough to do it, but I was like, I wasn't sure what the crafting material was going to be for that. Yeah, mm-hmm. And I wasn't sure if it was going to be the exact same as the pistol ammo. And how much it was going to give me.
I didn't realize I picked that up. That's kind of cool. That's nice. And a pipe bomb, which I didn't get to use. I'm so mad.
I know.
So did you get past this part then?
Yes, I rounded the corner, and then I got mobbed by like 4 or 5.
Okay. Yeah, because I just got the 3 at once. Right. And you said something about it felt like 12. So I'm wondering
just because it was like right around the corner. See, like, you're like going around and exploring things, which is cool. I was like, I gotta
get through this.
Yeah. I was like, I gotta get as far as I can.
Because you had even less time because you downloaded it this morning, and we're recording the show, so you want to be able to talk about it for one, which I appreciate. That's good. But also, you're not going to be able to play it after today, right? Because it's going to be, isn't today the last day?
No, you need to play it until it's like for a full week. So anyone that's listening to it right now, you can play this for an entire week until the game comes out, and actually for even a couple more days after that. Okay. So yeah, so Capcom decided not to fuck everyone again, and only do it for 8 hours.
Yeah, that's so stupid.
So they gave us like because the first 2 sections they gave everyone a chance to play it, but only for 8 hours. And if you didn't play it in that 8-hour window, sorry, Charlie. And so they were gonna do another one with It was
just the weekend, right? Like,
actually, it was supposed to be just. They were just going to do another 8-hour thing, and you were going to get both demos. And then there was such blowback from the community. They're like, dude, this is stupid.
Some of us work jobs and have kids, and we can't just, play this in this 8-hour window.
Yeah. So they were like, okay, fine. So they decided to, so it's for the entire week. It'll run from the 1st of May all the way through, I think the 9th of May is when they're going to do it. So I think it's even going to be out for like 2 more days after the game actually comes out itself. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, this is the more cinematic area of the in the village portion.
Yeah.
So it was cool.
Shit.
Yeah, it was cool, but just kind of crazy.
Do you get to turn into a werewolf? I'd like to be like does this like start like Underworld? Did you ever watch that movie?
I remember hearing about it. I don't think I've ever seen it though.
Yeah, but it's strictly just like vampires versus werewolves, but without the love story of Twilight.
Oh, nice. Like the way it should be then.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
No, you don't get to turn into a werewolf in the demo. However, if you look at the art, like the box art for the game, it sure looks like they're saying you're going to, because you got your character's face and then half of it looks like a wolf.
Yeah.
So it does sound like you might be able to turn into a werewolf, which how cool would that be?
Right?
Running
Super
around.
cool.
I mean, that kind of would turn the normal Resident Evil mechanics on its head, because now you're a monster and fighting monsters, like with hopefully, presumably human strength or superhuman strength.
Right.
So,
yeah, I can't really think of another game that lets you play as a werewolf other than like Skyrim. And
which I've never become a werewolf in Skyrim, actually.
Are you serious?
Or
it's so much fun. I was always a vampire, and then I realized that vampire traits suck unless you're sucking blood. But werewolf is fucking awesome.
That sounds really cool.
Yeah, dude.
Well, I hope you get to be one in this game too.
Yeah, right? For real. All right, so tell me about your experience with the VR, buddy.
Okay, yeah, I just wanted to touch on it really quickly. So, and it also was, I was actually going to move it till next week, but then I thought, well, it's kind of relevant since you were talking about Resident Evil 7.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, yeah, because I did play that in VR over the last week. But, so finally, so I had some friends coming over, my buddy Chris and his kids, and they're like 15 and 12 or 10, 11, something like that. And
nice.
So technically speaking, they shouldn't be watching this at all. But he was okay with it, and they were just like, "We'll just look away if we're scared." I'm like, "You can't unsee this."
Right.
But I had forgotten how brutal it was too, and so like we got to the part, and I'm just like, I had my buddy put the headset on exactly where you were, so like on that staircase. I'm like, "Do this." So he puts it on. He goes and opens the stairwell. And, the lady crawls up, and like I said, it's just so intense when you're wearing the headset. We all were just like, and pins and needles and, freaking out. And I just remembered, I'm like, oh, I didn't realize how brutal and disturbing this is, where there's a woman coming at, like literally stabbing you, like,
right
in the face and stuff and all that. But anyways, so that was cool. But just for the PSVR on the PS5, I hadn't tried it before, so I did reach out to Sony to get the camera adapter, because you have to have. It's very janky. This whole thing, the whole setup, is even more unbelievably janky than it was for PS4, because there isn't a port. You can't just plug the PS4 camera into the PS5.
Oh,
you need a special adapter, which you can't buy. You have to ask Sony for it. So you have to fill out a form, and then they'll send you the adapter. And you can't use a PS5 camera with the PSVR, because the two cameras are too close together, apparently, which makes no sense whatsoever. Like, why would they not, make this work? I don't get it.
Right.
Unless the new PSVR headset that's going to come out at some point needs it to be smaller. I don't know. Hopefully. Anyway, so you got the PS4 camera thing you got to use. Then you have a PS4 controller and the Move controllers, because some games use the Move controllers and others use the standard controller.
Right.
And then here's another thing. A lot of the VR games use the light bar on the PS4 controller to track the position of the controller. Cool.
Right.
Well, they took that off of the PS5 controller, at least for the face. And my initial thought was like, oh, maybe like the technology got way better and the camera can see the little lights like around the pad or something like. No, it can't. So for any VR game that uses controller tracking with that light, it doesn't work for PS5. So your controller, if you're in VR, usually you can hold the controller up and you can actually see it in the virtual space, right?
Right.
But when it's not tracking, the controller's just like sitting on the floor. So like you can look down and your controller's there, but you can't. It's not tracking it, so it's just sitting on the floor.
Yeah, that's weird.
And in some games, it's like it breaks it, in my opinion. Like the Astrobot thing uses it, so it was hard playing that. Luckily, I have a PS4 controller still, so but if it was completely dead, so like I had to charge it and all that. So yeah, it's just not like an easy or clean or like user friendly experience whatsoever. Now
did you have to pay for that like
no, the adapter's
connector?
free. The adapter's free.
Cool.
Yeah, so they give it to you. It's just like basically the old jack that the camera used because it was a little different than USB, I believe.
Okay.
And then 2 a USB. So it's just like a little dongle thing.
Gotcha.
Plug in between the system and that. But okay, so all that being said, it does look and run way better, like
nice.
noticeably better on the PS5, even over the PS4 Pro, because I had used the VR on the PS4 Pro.
Right.
And then I think that I think on PS4 Pro, it didn't pass through a 4K connection. If you had the VR headset set up, I don't think it would send the 4K resolution to the TV.
Okay.
And this sounds like a weird thing, but I really appreciate it. It doesn't do that anymore. It will send 4K, not HDR, but it will send 4K through the little breakout box for VR. So that's nice. And on the screen, like on the TV while someone's playing, it looks way better. It's actually at normal resolution.
Nice.
It's at least 1080p. I don't think any of those games are in 4K anyways, but it's very nice because it used to be the same resolution on the TV while you were watching it as someone who wasn't playing VR, like in the room, as it was on the headset. So it just looked like shit, at like super blurry and everything. So now it's kind of cool because when we're watching someone play like Resident Evil, for example, it looks like someone's playing Resident Evil just with a controller,
right,
on the TV. So that was cool. And then the resolution in the goggles is better,
nice.
and noticeably clearer. The refresh rate is noticeably faster, so it's not as sicky. Doesn't make you sick.
Yeah.
So I know you had some issues with that in the past, right?
Well, it's because of I got it specifically for Skyrim, and like after like a couple days, I was like, no, this is not going to work for me. Yeah. I also didn't really have a great space for it, so like the space I was trying to do it in was my bedroom, and it was like in this like 3x3 spot, like before, like in the spot just before where my bed was and the TV stand was. So it wasn't a great spot for it to be. So yeah, I mean, it was a bad placement by me, but it was also like it made me like motion sick like crazy. And then Skyrim looked like just absolute terrible.
I would be interested to see how it looks on PS5.
Yeah.
And the headset, but I'm sure it's not that much better because it looked off. I mean, I rented it through GameFly just because I'm like, yeah, Skyrim, that'll be amazing in VR.
Right.
And then you put it on and it's like, it looks like PS2.
Oh, it's so bad.
You can't even distinguish people's eyes on their face from 6 feet away. You have to be like right up in someone's face to like even see their features.
Yeah, no, and like trying to like look like, I don't know, like in Skyrim, you could like look down like a pasture and like see all the landscape, and like in the VR, everything was like fuzzy. Like I was back at the optometrist, and they were saying 1 or 2, which one looks better? I was like, definitely not 1, bro.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm hopeful that maybe with the second iteration of the PSVR, maybe they'll actually name it Morpheus this time, which would be cool.
I'm really, really excited about it as well, even just to get more information about it. So
seriously, hopefully you'll get something around E3 time. That'd be kind of cool, or maybe later on this year.
Yeah, well, I think they already confirmed that they're working on it, and they confirmed some of the features about it, and they've also shown images of the controllers.
Yeah, those controls look sexy as fuck.
Yeah, no details though, I don't think yet about them, or very little anyway.
Right.
But yeah, I think you're right. I think we'll see something around E3 time about it with the release of next year probably, but we will see how that goes. For sure.
But you also were playing Vader, right? That was the whole reason you got the.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it today. So I'm just going to do the little tease. But yeah, so basically, my friend's 15-year-old, we're like, we are totally both obsessed with Star Wars, and I'm like, man, I wish, I really want to get Vader Immortal, but it's $30, and that's not really bad at all. But I just don't really want to spend the money right now, and will I really play it? And I'm like, I kept pondering it and kicking it around in my head. And then finally, I'm like, I'm just going to get it. Come to find out, it's actually all 3 episodes because it's broken out episodically. Yeah. So it's actually 3 episodes. So it's really only $10 per episode. And from what we beat the first episode.
Okay.
And we were just kind of like trading off with it. And I feel like it probably took at least an hour or something. So to me, like, the $10 for the hour, and then there's also some replayable things in there. There's like a training simulator thing where you can use the lightsaber.
That's cool.
Yeah, but I'll talk about it more next week because I want to play it more and get into like the second chapter, because I've heard that in the second chapter you are Vader's apprentice and he like sends you out to do things and like you interact with him more.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, I'm very excited.
That's awesome.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, we'll save that for next week. But
Cool.
Let's keep things moving with News Bites.
Oh, yeah!
Put them in my mouth.
Tasty.
Nom, 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 nom.
So many bites.
We have all the bites.
We've got so many bites.
A lot of them are bite-sized as well.
Yes.
Which is
Hopefully.
good. Let's power through these first couple here. We got all the new games are coming out for the month. We got PlayStation Plus, Microsoft Games with Gold, and Epic Games free games.
Yep.
None of them are really that exciting, but on PS in my mind, PS Plus is for May is going to have Wreckfest, which is probably the most interesting one to me.
And that's going to be a PS5 exclusive.
Yes, sorry.
Sorry,
that is PS4 owners.
Right, yeah.
But it's like a destruction derby type of thing, right?
Correct. And this one's actually already part of the Game Pass for Microsoft. So if you own Xbox and you have the Game Pass, you can already play this game already and not have to. I know, right? So, but this one is coming to you for free on the PlayStation 5 for Plus, and then you're also getting Battlefield 5 and Stranded Deep. Yeah, I'm actually pretty excited about Stranded Deep because it's a survival lost kind of game. So like it's like you crash land in the ocean, and you're the only survivor in this plane. I don't know if it was like a full charter, like commercial plane or whatever, but yeah. So you're the only one.
There's
and
a
then
smoke
you gotta,
monster, a hatch.
Yeah, right. Oh, dude, that'd be so
you're
good.
all traveling through time.
Yes,
that would be awesome. I would love that.
The island is actually a boat. But no, Stranded Deep looks super cool. Like I'm actually really into it because it looks kind of like a more adult version of Subnautica.
Okay.
So yeah.
No, I take it back then. PlayStation still has somewhat compelling free games this month. And I'm sure a lot of people like Battlefield 5 too. That's not my thing really.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind checking it out only because you got to figure that's multiplayer. That's a multiplayer game. Everyone gets it for free. Boom. All of a sudden you and the friends can get together and play a game together.
That's
just like we did with Remnant.
That's true. Okay.
Yeah.
You've changed my mind.
Yes. Huzzah, the day is mine.
All right, Games with Gold, though, I don't know if you can change my mind on that. A couple of these I haven't heard of ever. So you have Armello. Are you familiar with that?
So I was reading up on this one. This one's like a card-based dungeon kind of thing. It looks interesting. It sounds interesting. It's got, I guess, a kind of a darker story. So I don't know. I mean, I don't have an Xbox, so I won't be playing this game. But, it's fine. They also have Lego Batman. And Dungeon.
That's okay to me. I like Lego Batman.
I want to say that's the 2015 version, so like it's not like anything new. Like I don't think it's the movie version.
Sure.
But then they have Dungeons 3, which I'm not sure. Like it seems so generic.
Sounds like a dungeon crawler to me.
Right? Yeah. And then Tropico 4, isn't that like a sim?
Yeah, it's like I think it's like a government social like type of sim, and I've never been a big fan of the Tropicos though.
Yeah, I don't know, none of them really struck me as being great, so Gold just doesn't seem like really appealing at all. Like
they don't really seem to give a shit because they're just releasing everything on Game Pass anyway, so
yeah, it seems like the better deal just to go with Game Pass
for sure.
Right. Epic is giving away some games. So they've got so next week has already been announced. So that's gonna be Pine.
Is that the one you were talking about that one time where it's everyone's racing each other but with different vehicles?
No. I'm sorry. This is completely different. So this is Pine. So this isn't actually. It's almost like a Zelda clone. This is an open world action game. In which humans are not the top dog. So there's like prehistoric animals that are like kind of living there, but it's a little cartoony too. I saw that there's like a giant mammoth that you like is a boss or something, but it's not like, and you have to work with a few different races. So like humans have not existed in this world or on this island for hundreds of years, and so from your island, you're like the place where your humans are from, they have to move to a different world essentially, or move to a different island because it's their island's being destroyed. And so your son is like a scout to like see if this area is going to be a good spot for you guys. And so there's a lot of like, so there's a lot of social elements to it too, because there's like 5 races, and one's like a lizard race and one's a fox race, and you're working with all these different creatures and like building up like reputation, like building stuff, and it's kind of cool.
It looks awesome. I'm looking at screenshots of it right now. Is it only on Steam though? I mean, like on PC. I mean,
no, it's on Switch as well.
Oh,
I don't think it's on PlayStation or Xbox, but I could be wrong. But I believe it was just initially when it first came out was PC and Switch, and that was back in 2019. Now this game kind of got shit on for reviews wise because there's a lot of great aspects about this game, but there's also a lot of things that are like, because you like what they were explaining to me in like a few different reviews was that you would like help a tribe out, and then like the next minute later you're like backstabbing them to like get better standing in another tribe. So it's kind of like,
so you're just you're just an asshole.
Right, exactly. And it doesn't like really like, the story doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, I guess. And then combat's just really like out there. It's like slow and sluggish, and it's really not weighted very well, because a lot of it is the game is almost like 90% like this social and exploration kind of thing, and there's like 10% of combat, but the combat is so difficult and like chunky and like very like rigid, and it's that's why a lot of things like came back as a negative review for this game. But anyways, Pine, I mean, if you're interested in like a Zelda clone with more of a social aspect, this may be something that you're into. I would check it out
for free.
Exactly, for free. Can't beat free.
FYI, it is also out on PS4.
It is? Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that's probably Xbox as well too. But I know initially it said
it didn't show that on the. I was looking at the games page, and it had logos for the different systems it's available for, and it did not show an Xbox logo.
Interesting.
Scandal? You decide.
Right. You can still get Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, which is the Dungeons and Dragons game, through May 6th. Now that's already a free game, but the bundle that they put on Epic is giving you like $100 worth of like free loot. So like, for like power ups and stuff like that to like play the game, you're getting like a giant bundle that gives you like $100 worth of value.
Nice.
So, yep, that's still available through May 6th. And then on May 6th to the 13th, that'll be when Pine becomes active.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sounds like a deal.
For sure.
So this I thought was interesting. Sony briefly reveals the PlayStation Plus Video Pass, and then comes clean about what they're doing.
Yep.
So it popped up recently on a store in Poland, right?
Yep.
On a digital storefront or whatever. And it's basically a streaming service for video, like Sony video, like movies and TV shows or something
that are Sony exclusive, like the Sony produced them,
and coming with included in PlayStation Plus. Is that what I'm understanding?
Correct. Yes. So they're essentially doing a test in Poland, of all places, where anyone that has the PS Plus already will get this added benefit at no additional cost.
I like that.
And again, it's just 21 movies and TV series. Yeah. So I don't know. Like, I think it's like the 5 or 6 seasons of Community, and like the Venom movie and a few others. I don't think Spider-Man's going to be on there, because they Sony just inked a deal with Hulu and Disney for Spider-Man exclusivity rights. Mm-hmm. So I don't think that they are going to have any of the Spider-Man movies, but you'll still get Venom, which, that movie is like 3 or 4 years old at this point. Like,
your dollar store Spider-Man.
Right. Yeah. And honestly, it just doesn't, to me, I'm like, this doesn't, like, this one, like, if someone was like, hey, here's this service that PlayStation offers, and you get like a couple games free a month, and then you also get this weird random video thing that's only exclusively what they shoot. Like, what? Like, to me, it doesn't, like, it's not a selling point.
It's not
like,
enough.
It's not enough to. I don't know why they think that this is like a way to combat like Microsoft with their Game Pass, because that's what they're that's what I mean. They're trying to add anything that's sweeter.
They're trying to add value to the PlayStation
Right.
Plus service, right? So
Right.
I agree with you 1,000% that it's not a selling point, especially not yet. They did say that they're going to keep adding to the catalog like every month, like everyone else does. But yeah, I mean, I don't really want or need another video streaming service for one, unless there's something really compelling on there, which I don't think there will be.
Right, unless there was like a brand new season, like how Netflix has their own shows, like Stranger Things, or Hulu's got The Handmaid's Tale. Like if they had something like that on there, but they're not. They just have they don't have anything that's original. Like they're putting things on there that have been on either other platforms or just to me it's like this doesn't seem like what I want, and I think everyone has been clamoring for is backwards compatibility. Everyone has been talking about that for forever, since the PlayStation 3. Like there should be a backwards compatibility.
Well, they have that. It's PlayStation Now,
but that's a terror. It's not. And it's not everything, and it's kind of a bad system. I mean, it's
because you have to stream the games that can't physically run on PS4 or 5. But so if they really want to compete with Game Pass, though, which I don't think was that said anywhere by Sony that this was the intent of this was to compete with Game Pass, or is that just your conjecture?
Oh no, I'm sorry. This is so this is kind of my conjecture, but it's also at the same time this is something to add value,
right?
To bring people from Microsoft to Sony.
Yeah. And if that's their goal here, they're not doing a good job, because if they really want to compete with Game Pass, they need to include PlayStation Now at the very least with PlayStation Plus, immediately. That would start to compete with Game Pass, and then on top of that, you can raise the price if you want. That's fine with me. But you need to have more exclusive games on there, if not offering the day one exclusive games for included in that service. And I get why they don't want to do that, because Sony makes AAA games that sell millions and millions of copies. So of course, Microsoft doesn't have a lot of IPs like that. Like Halo is, Halo, and a few others will have, and Gears of War maybe, will sell millions and millions of copies, but they can afford to give those away, because they're fewer and far between. But Sony's got, they're stacked with AAA first-party games. So I get why they don't want to do it, but they need to do something.
Yeah, because I think
this
Game Pass,
isn't it.
Yeah, no, it's not it. And kind of speaking of the exclusivity, the exclusives that are coming to Sony, they're talking about, they made a pretty big claim just recently that they're going to be making more exclusives than any previous generation for the PlayStation 5. So Jim Ryan, who's the CEO at Sony, stated that they're investing in studios that they own. So, studios like Insomniac that made the Spider-Man game back in 2019, Santa Monica Studios, they are, and Naughty Dog, they're investing into those studios right now to give them the most firepower to make some of the greatest fucking games out there,
which they're already doing. That's interesting and really exciting if they're gonna throw even more weight behind those guys.
Yeah. Now there was a rumor here just a couple of weeks ago that there was Sony was kind of sniffing around Square Enix as a company to acquire to kind of rival that acquisition of Bethesda.
That would be amazing.
Oh, that'd be crazy. Like that'd be shots fired. I mean, the acquisition of Bethesda by Microsoft was already a shot fired. It'd be crazy to see something like that happen. But Square Enix kind of came back a couple days later and said they had no plans of selling.
We're our own company.
Yeah, they're their own company,
which is a good idea, because they, I'm sure they're doing really well.
Right, but I mean, I bet that's exactly what Bethesda said. The same thing. Like, there was probably a number that's on the table that they would say, "Yeah, let's do this."
Yeah, well, especially in Bethesda's case too, because Microsoft is basically like, "Hey, keep doing what you're doing. We're not going to bother you, but here's a crap ton of money, so you don't have to worry about going out of business ever. So you can be more experimental, and your games are just going to come to our platforms at some point."
Yeah.
So I'm not sure Sony would do that with Square Enix. They might be more involved, want to be more involved with them or something.
That's true. Yeah. But keep it rolling with the Sony train, because I know we got a lot to talk about.
We have a lot
here,
of Sony stuff.
A lot of Sony things coming out here the last couple of weeks. We definitely want to talk about that. So, last we reported here was that Sony was closing down the PS3 and the PS Vita and the PSP stores. Well, we did it. Your boys at Super Joystick Radio spoke our minds. You're fucking welcome. We called Sony on their shit, and they said, You guys are right.
These guys
we
are
need
right.
To keep this, yeah, these guys are right. We need to keep that store open for all gamers. However, if you still own a PSP, you're gonna need to upgrade because that store is going dark on July 2nd. So
that seems reasonable.
Yeah. So I mean, PSP has been around for since like PlayStation 2 era. I remember owning one back when I was like 14 or something. So I mean, it's like long ago technology, kind of.
They were awesome,
I mean, I mean, they were great for the time. I mean, at the time, they were great.
They're still great for like a lot of things, but
I hated the disc though, because like it was such a weird.
Oh, the UMDs,
dude, they were so weird.
They're little CDs inside of a plastic case.
I know, but like if that little case broke, you were kind of fucked.
Yeah, you were. I think it would have been kind of cool if they just had the little discs. It would have felt like super.
It would have been like a GameCube.
Yeah, or felt like super like futuristic. Like put this tiny disc in there.
And then they switched over to cartridges for the
obvious reasons that they're much more sturdy.
Yep, for sure. But it's good to see that Sony's making this change. They got that feedback that they needed, and it's kind of like how when Microsoft did the same thing about raising prices for gold, trying to get people into the Game Pass Ultimate Edition, and then they walked it back further, by saying, hey, we're gonna take away the need for gold to play these multiplayer games that are free. So this is good. I mean, Sony and Microsoft listen to the fans when they clamor, and make a stink about things because they, it's good.
They're responsive. They want the community to enjoy their products, and they want to do things that people, support, and that is good. It's interesting. I wonder how long they're going to keep the PS3 store around then.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Hopefully long enough until part of it's probably because you can't play those PS3 games on PS4 because of backwards compatibility issues. If you could, then they'd probably just move them to the new store. So that's probably part of the issue. So hopefully they will keep it up until they have a viable solution for that. And if Microsoft can do it with Xbox and Xbox 360 games, there's got to be a way to play PS3 games on PS4.
Right. I mean, there are some games that you can only get on the PS3 that aren't part of the Now, that like you have to own a PS3 to be able to buy that game from the shop, because it's not like one of my favorite games is Legend of Dragoon, but I can't play that on my 4. I have to physically actually have to play a PlayStation 3 and then buy that game because it's not part of the Now. Right. So, but anyways, I appreciate Sony keeping that open. That's great of them. I mean, they obviously heard the comments from the gamers and
have been listening to our show.
Right, exactly. Thank you, Sony. Thank you.
Hire us.
Yeah, right. So they also have developed this crazy patent that will allow AI to play your games for you. That is right. They have created a way for like robots to play the game for you. This is the craziest shit ever. Yeah, so what they're doing is they patent the idea of developing AI that will observe and learn how you play as it monitors you. And then when you can't play, like say you get called away for dinner and you're playing with a group of friends, or like let's say you have to, exactly, you've got to run to the bathroom, you're gonna need to eat something or whatever. This AI will come into place and it will replicate your types of decisions and actions based on what you've done previously.
Wow.
Dude, that's fucking wild. That's next
weird.
Level shit.
That's weird and kind of concerning.
Yeah.
A little bit.
And then on top of that, the patent also includes the ability for the AI to step in for you if you're struggling, and it can just do the section for you.
Like augment, take over, or
take over, bro. Wow. Like it'll be like, hey, do you want to like relinquish control to the robot? You can like have them do that for you and show you how to do this.
That seems so weird. Like why?
Yeah.
Why would you? Like, couldn't the developer just do something with that? Like, if the part's too hard, like make it easier, or like change the difficulty, or skip you past the part. It seems weird to use AI to actually play the game to get you through a part. Right? Yeah. But I suppose this would make it developer independent then, and it would work on any game. Right. Which is crazy. Like even something like an old classic arcade game, it could. The robot could take over and play.
Now, this will obviously have like really interesting consequences when it comes to like competitive games. Like they've not really said like how this is going to like impact like again, like multiplayer games where it's competitive and things like that. I think this might be like relegated to like things that are either like a local co-op, or like maybe it's not like something that you're competing on a leaderboard for, or like a first person shooter where it's a competition like that. So I don't know how this is gonna like affect that kind of game, but I mean, this is trippy, dude. Like straight up like futuristic, wild.
I can see all sorts of potential problems with it, and I don't really see a lot of potential benefits for it. I mean, I'm okay with a pause button so I can go to the bathroom. I don't need the robot to play for me for the 2 minutes or whatever it takes me. But here's the other thing: you're gonna miss the game. Right. Why would you even why wouldn't you want to pause it? I guess if you're playing something online with other people, that would make sense. But then it raises all those flags that you said about, well, how, you can't do that in Overwatch. You can't do it in Fortnite. You can't do it in any competitive means at all, unless the robot is so good that it mimics you so closely that it's like a 1-to-1 or real damn close. Then I guess you could say that, but that's very, very strange.
I know. I also think like this could be like, okay, like people watch people play video games because they find it entertaining. Mm-hmm. Like this like would start like a whole new reality of like people just buying video games to watch their robot play the video game for them.
Yeah, I could see that.
Like it's so wonky, but
or can you imagine too if someday we're actually competing against robots in online games, like just straight up?
Yeah.
Like, is this person a real person or a robot?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, very weird.
It is.
I'm not a big fan of that, but we'll see how it plays out. Sony, I'm sure they're just covering all their bases.
Right.
It could have some interesting applications.
Yeah, totally down the road. But to kind of keep going with Sony train.
Keep it up.
PS5.
Hop on the Sony train.
Yeah, sorry. Right. No, it's all good. PS5 outsold the PS4 in its first fiscal year. Woo-hoo! That is right. Yeah. So in the 4 or 5, I'm sorry, actually at this point, well, I guess it ended in March 31st. So it had been out for roughly 4 months at that point. PS5 sold 7.8 million versus 7.6 million of PS4 sold during that exact same period. So
unfortunately, 80% of those PS5s are in the hands of
fucking bots.
Yeah, asshole robot people.
Yeah, right. I know.
Who are they're not just gonna play your games anymore. They're going to buy your systems, and you won't even be able to get one.
Yep, charge you 3 times for it. So that is crazy. But yeah, no, it's good for them, especially with like the shortages. I know that there's a certain part that like has like hugely been like there's been a huge short on it that has really impacted the making of both the Xbox and the PlayStation 5. And without that part, it really has made it really difficult for them to be able to ship out in the masses like they want to. So, I would imagine here within the next couple months, once the pandemic really lets up and people have the vaccine or, whatever the choices they make, happens, then, they should be able to make those parts again and get that back in the, full swing of things. So I'd imagine probably by Christmas of this year, it'll be much more accessible to get a PlayStation 5 and an Xbox, hopefully.
Yeah, well, it'd be interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy how much they sold despite all of those issues. So, but yeah, it's in PS5 is just is more popular than PS4 was, and in the same time frame. Yep.
So we're pretty much done with the Sony thing. I think for the most part, yeah. But actually, there's a few more Sony after this. But yeah, no. Let's switch topics. Let's talk about Amazon. And can they ever get a win? Let's. What
did they do this time, Justin?
They the almighty giant of online sales can't get their shit together when it comes to making video games to save their life. So they've come out with a few original games that have kind of like been subpar and no one really talks about. They were in works to make a new Lord of the Rings MMO RPG, like free to play. And that was going to debut with the new Lord of the Rings series that they spent like I think like $30 million just for the rights. Like
for
it was
Prime Video. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Well, so Amazon also is in the process of trying to make video games too. And so they have a Lord of the Rings like series, like TV series, because everyone's jumping on. Yeah. Everyone's jumping on the Game of Thrones, The Witcher, is with Netflix, and Game of Thrones was obviously with HBO. And so they were like, well, we got to get in on this. So they paid for the rights, crazy amount of money just for the rights of it. And actually, I think it was like $500 million. I think it was something like
wow,
obscene amount for Amazon. But anyway, so they paid for the rights. They're casting for it. They're starting to work on it now. But
so the game was supposed to coincide with the release of the TV show.
Exactly, kind of like just to bring people in together on both sides.
Makes sense. So, it's the ET by Christmas time for Atari debacle all over again.
It really was, except this unfortunately came unglued because the company Tencent bought out the company that Amazon had partnered with, which was Leiyu Tech. So that was going to be the company that was developing the MMO for Amazon or helping out with that. And that got bought out by Tencent back in December of 2020. And then Tencent and Amazon couldn't put together a deal. And so everything just folded. Yeah, I know, dude. It's such a bummer. And the only thing now we have to look forward to in the Lord of the Rings universe is fucking Gollum.
Hey,
and I don't want to play that at all.
Really?
That's the least favorite character of like the Lord of the Rings series. Like I hate Gollum so much.
I don't like him when he talks, but I think it sounds like an interesting premise for a game. Like I'm interested to see what they do with it. And supposedly the graphics are supposed to be awesome too.
Yeah,
I'll get it from GameFly.
Yeah, I think that it might be a rental, or maybe I'll just come over and watch it.
Or maybe you'll just watch me stream it on Twitch and be like, that's fine.
Yes, exactly. I'll vicariously live through you.
There you go.
So Microsoft finally, makes good on that promise to remove that Xbox Live restriction from those free Xbox games we talked about just a few moments ago. So
Woo-hoo.
this was promised back in January, and it took them almost over 3 months just to like implement that. It was the weirdest.
Yeah, it's probably infrastructure issues because that's just how their system was designed. So we're referring to, of course, like Fortnite and
Destiny 2, Rocket League, Apex Legends, Phantasy Star Online 2. That one's for you, Schmid. That one's for you.
Yeah, but a lot of those were games that you had to purchase, like Destiny 2. You had to purchase that, but you also had to have Xbox Live with Gold. So you could play.
Correct.
Play online,
I mean, that's initially when Destiny 2 came out, but now it's free.
For like
totally?
It's
100%.
Well, it's on
totally
Game
free.
Pass, but like the expansions, you still have to pay for when the new ones
come out.
You
would pay for the expansions, but like right now, I can play on my PC for free. Like I downloaded it again completely for free, and on PlayStation, you can download it completely for free.
Yeah, well, and there may be some things that you can buy like down the road, but you're right. Yeah, the game, like the base game, at least is free.
Yep.
So, but yeah, you couldn't play those games online, even though they were free. You couldn't play them because unless you had Xbox Live with Gold. So yeah, that's the thing. So on PlayStation, they've always had, you have to have PlayStation Plus to be able to play with your friends online, unless it's one of these free to play games, and then Sony takes a cut of all the digital sales and stuff like that on the back end to kind of pay for that.
Yep.
Yeah. So Microsoft's finally on board with that, and they were, like you said, in January, but it took them several months to actually get to that point. But as of today, I guess not today, but now.
Yeah, within the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, they finally
removed it. Yeah.
Hooray!
So hooray!
Free to play.
Good news. Yes.
Doesn't affect us at all, but
no, it doesn't.
All right, this one I was a little sad about. Unless you
I know.
Did you? Okay, I didn't know if you had anything to say more about.
No. Go for it, buddy.
So talks between Discord and Microsoft fizzle.
I know.
This is from an article from IGN, it looks like.
Yep.
So Microsoft and Discord tabled the discussion for now about the acquisition. Discord will remain independent and focus on the potential initial public offering. Okay.
Yeah.
So Discord was finally just like, if Microsoft wants to buy us for $10 billion, maybe we can make more than $10 billion or make it ourselves.
Yeah, they're right now. They were evaluated a few weeks. That was the whole reason that Microsoft came around and offered them more than what they were evaluated for, because they were evaluated at $7 billion. And Microsoft came in and said, "Hey, we'll give you $10 billion for your company," and that wasn't even enough to sway Discord. I mean, you got to think like they spent 7.5 on Bethesda, which makes solid fucking games, and they were willing to pay Discord $10 billion essentially just because of the the structure they've built for online communications. I mean, like, that's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy, but hey, that's either way they're going to exist. It's probably better this way.
Yeah,
they have more chance of surviving because Microsoft easily could have just bought them and then integrated that technology into their own stuff. And Discord, as we knew it, may have not been anymore. So it's good.
True story.
Keep doing what you're doing, Discord.
So Days Gone 2, there was a petition that started a couple weeks ago, and it ended up clearing 50,000 signatures. And it's actually, as of last night, I checked it, it was nearing 100,000. I think it was like 97,000 signatures.
Okay.
So this was a game that was, shot down by this is a couple, I would say 3-4 weeks ago. There was the announcement that came out that Sony was not going to go ahead and renew Days Gone 2 for the go ahead. They only wanted to pump out a remake of Last of Us. So right now, so they canceled that altogether. And so then there was this outpouring of fandom that said, hey, no, we really do want this game. So this is just a great showing of love. So if you figure, right now they've got so initially the goal was the 50K. 50,000 signatures, and then they got that pretty quick, and so then it jumped to 75,000, it jumped to 100,000, and now it's the goal is 150,000 signatures. And again, if those are all genuinely real, genuinely real people, and they're not just bots or anything like that, and each of these would buy that game for full price, so that's $60. That's $9 million they would make day one. So that's a pretty sizable amount of money to make off of one game. And but John Garvin, who is the creative director and lead writer for that game, kind of called people out. He quoted, you can read his quote there on GameSpot, but he said, "Don't complain if your game doesn't get a sequel because it wasn't supported at launch. If you love a game and want a sequel, buy it at full fucking price."
Jesus,
yeah, like he kind of came at people a little bit. So I mean, it is a double-edged sword because this game, for them specifically, only got like a 7 was the average, and when brand new IPs get average scores, people aren't willing to spend $60 or $70 on a game, and this was just a zombie game. Like,
it was a brand new IP, and it was way delayed, and it was it just apparently wasn't that great. So but see, I don't know. I feel like if they'd make a second one, that's your chance to take your ideas and make it a better game. So I don't know why he is so. Why does he have this reaction? Why is he upset that people want a sequel? He's mad because they didn't buy it at launch?
Yeah, exactly, because there wasn't the support at launch for this game. So because there wasn't the support at launch, people have either gotten it for a couple months ago. It was on it was on Plus. It was on PS Plus, and then I know it's been heavily discounted here over the last couple of months as well too.
So what?
Right, but what he's saying is like if
you would have supported it from the beginning, then we would have a sequel. Well, that's bullshit, for one. And two, that has nothing to do with the fans. That's not their fault.
Right.
Like, if anything, it's Sony's fault and also their fault for not making a more compelling game.
Right.
So, I don't know. Go back and look at Uncharted 1.
Yeah.
Like, there's a reason that people like that game. And I don't know. I just think it's grossly irresponsible and massively dickish to talk shit to the fans because your game didn't do well. I mean, he should be happy that people are getting to like that. They like it and they want another one. Like, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So but it also is the stance of. I mean, it's really his point against what PlayStation wants, because PlayStation wants those bangers. Like, they want the commercial successes, and this one was kind of just like a kind of lukewarm. It wasn't like a Rockstar, type of game.
That's
where
not true, though. Sony supports all sorts of studios that come out with weird, odd games that aren't AAA. It might not be as much money. Maybe that has something to do with it.
Right.
But
they spent a lot of money making this game, and so it cost them a lot of money. And so they said, we're not gonna front the money for you to make this a game again. That's the issue is, like, they have The Last of Us, which is a zombie game, and then you have you've got Days Gone, which is another zombie game.
Yeah, you can't have two zombie franchises running side by side,
competing with one another. So it's either if one is more successful than the other one, it's sort of like, if one arm has gangrene and you're worried that it's going to spread to the entire body,
cut it off.
Yeah, you cut it off, and that's what they did.
So my question is, why did they create it in the first place then? Because it is clearly like a indirect competition with Last of Us.
All right. I don't really know the answer to that. I think that they were trying to capitalize at that time, like by making more zombie games, because maybe it was very popular.
Walking Dead.
Right. It was a popular franchise or a popular topic. So it was probably something where they're like, okay, well, we'll kind of just keep on, going at this because everyone keeps loving zombie games. So, if that's the case, this should also be a hit. And so I think because it wasn't a hit, and there were parts that people wrote about in reviews that said the game felt shallow, or it wasn't, it was underdeveloped, or there was bugs and it was rushed. If that was, that's the reason that people kind of gave it kind of mediocre scores. No one's going to pay your $60 for the game. So that's the reason why you didn't get a sequel, and that's why no one wanted to support it really at launch. So,
well, I think John Garvin is a big dick.
It's a true story.
Shame on
you. Yeah, right. Shame. But hey, some positive news though for those people that are doing the stay at home. Sony threw this out there again. We talked about this a few different times, but Horizon Zero Dawn is completely free right now. It's complete edition too, so it's even the Frozen Wilds like DLC that came with it.
Nice.
You're not just getting the base game; you're getting the DLC with it too for free. That is May 14th. So.
This is your last chance. Train's leaving the station, so this is your last. Make sure you claim your copy of Horizon Zero Dawn. It's a great game that got overshadowed by Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, it's great. I loved it. It made me a better archer for sure, like in games. So again, this is literally it's the easiest thing you can do today is pick up your phone, power up that PlayStation, app or whatever like that, and literally click on the button and just enjoy it. The sequel's coming out supposedly by the end of this year. Probably will get delayed here, obviously till next, but they've not said that. I imagine it's probably going to be the case. I don't want to rush game. I want it to be as like fluid as possible, especially the underwater. Like really gets me excited for this game. That's another gripe I have about fucking Nier. Why is it that you can't swim in goddamn games? I am so irritated by games that I can't fucking swim in.
Because then they have to put content out there. You know that.
It's so ridiculous. Just like, let me swim, bro. Like, you can swim in Zelda. Like, even on the top of the lake.
I'll do you better. How about the games where you can walk to your ankles into the water, but then you can't go? There's like an invisible wall, so you can't go farther into the deep water. That's even better.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're teasing you at that point.
Yeah, I know it really is. In Nier, you can jump into the water and then you just immediately drowned.
See, maybe you can't swim. Did you think of that?
Well, yes, but I'm like, come on, like it just immediately cuts to black scene or whatever like that. Like I want water. I'm not asking for a whole lot. Just like let him skim across the lake or something. I don't know.
Nice.
Why put it in there if you're gonna make it like a death trap?
There you go. Just to mess with you, probably.
Probably just to troll me.
This one is messing with you for sure.
Oh, dude, I was heartbroken when I heard this news. Jeff Kaplan has left Blizzard.
Wah, 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 wah.
This guy has been like hands down one of the most creative people at Blizzard. Stepped down, as a creative director from Overwatch. He was the guy that was in front of the camera for most of the changes that they made with the game and with the development of both, Overwatch 1 and Overwatch 2. And he's been with Blizzard for over 19 years. So he worked along with other developers with WoW. He got credited as a director, later on. He worked with a lot of projects for, creating quests and storylines within the Warcraft universe within WoW. And then he ended up spearheading a project called Titan that eventually became Overwatch. Like Titan was supposed to be a first-person shooter game that Blizzard was developing, like hero based, but I believe it was more of a single-player game. It wasn't supposed to be like an actual like multiplayer game in itself. So this is really bummer. And I'm glad that he had such a decorated career there at Blizzard, and so I'm excited to see what's next. So wherever Jeff goes, there's gonna be a ton of people that follow. He has a cult following, much like Kojima. So could we be seeing Kaplan Studios at some point down the road?
Ooh.
Who knows? I know, right? So I'm very excited to to take a look at, to see what he does next. What studio does he land with? Yes, I know, Tyler, you can swim in Final Fantasy 14, and you can finally dive, which is really cool to explore like the underwater. That's why excited for Horizon Zero Dawn for the next chapter in that, because you'll be able to swim with the fishies.
Feces. Sounds disturbingly like feces. Fish poop.
Right. Fish poop.
Fish poop. All right. Yeah. Let's keep things moving with the shooter roundup. Fish poop.
Damn it. I was going to say it.
It is mine again.
Stolen. The only thing we have to report here, there was two things. Apex Legends just dropped here on the 26th of April a new gameplay mode. It's an arena mode. It's a 3-on-3 matchup. It actually sounds really badass, like where you're gonna squad up with 3 people and it's a 3-on-3. Their trailer was go beyond battle royale, and I was like, that's kind of cool. The trailer looked pretty cool for it, so I don't know, I'm actually contemplating just picking it up, putting it on the Switch, and just kind of giving it a whirl or whatever, because I've always wanted to check out Apex, but now that it's on the Switch, might as well.
We dabbled. Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah,
but I never got super into it.
That's too bad. I kind of want to check it out. I mean, the 3-on-3 is what gets me into it. Like that sounds really cool. Like if it's just a quick match or whatever like that, it's not 100 people competing over the same area. I think that'd be kind of cool. Like it has more tactics to it, I feel like. Now this kind of like play style has existed in other games or whatever like that. But I'd be interested to see how this transforms that game. The other one with the fall of Jeff Kaplan, there's a new guy that stepped into Overwatch. His name's like Aaron something. I haven't looked at his last name or whatever, but he's the temporary new director or whatever. I don't know if he's going to stay the new director, but there's a lot of blowback right now in Overwatch. They released a sort of almost like a cultural appropriation version of Mei, which is a Chinese she's the one that shoots ice, okay, and she's the one that's always kind of dressed up in like big fur coats, and she's got this little bot that goes around with her, and anyways her entire thing is ice, and she can like freeze people. Anyways, they created, which was, I thought the last time we talked about this, the Overwatch League was not going to get any more like private skins or like exclusive skins. They came out with a new one, which was kind of like shocking. I think what they mean is that they're not going to do any Overwatch skins based on characters anymore, like the players themselves, because of the issues they ran into with the guy that used to play Zarya that was going through that issues. But they may be coming out with more that like are just like for the sake of the Overwatch League. Well, this one, unfortunately, like I said, has created kind of sort of some blowback, because she's a white character as like a UFC, and she's like, again, she's Chinese, but she is she's got cornrows. And it's very like, a lot of people are like, that's like really associated with with African American culture, like why would you like kind of. And then a lot of fans have been reaching out to Blizzard about this, because they feel like that's sort of Blizzard not being very good about that what the statement they're making is kind of like like our game will kind of like absorb. There's been other topics. I don't know. It's a strange topic to talk about. Blizzard has made a lot of controversial decisions too with a lot of their games here regarding either cultural appropriation or the LGBTQ community and things like that. So, it just feels like this is sort of another strike against Blizzard in that regard.
Haven't they in general been pretty progressive?
At times they can be, and at times they've fallen short. And this is one of those times where, like, unfortunately they've gotten a lot of blowback from it because
cornrows. I feel like I've seen plenty of people and characters that are white that have cornrows, but I could be wrong.
This one, I think it's because she's like Asian. She's an Asian character. Okay. And the fact that she has, I don't know, it's strange. It's great, but I mean, again, that's how the community's feeling. I'm just reporting it. I'm kind of indifferent. But again, I will not take a stand.
I plead the fifth. Then I don't understand why that would make people mad, but I could just be out of touch.
Yeah. But that's all we got for the shooter roundup this week. There's not a whole lot there.
I'm glad you ended this on a political note. That's very nice of you.
That is my bad. I mean, I wasn't trying to. That was just part of the news, you know.
No, that's all right. It's not in the notes, though.
I read it. Sorry.
That's okay. Anyways, I'm sure that you can look that controversy up, and I think Blizzard's been pretty good to respond to most things, and they seem to be very inclusive to me. I mean, how many characters are there? Like 30 something?
Yeah, 30 something. Yep.
Yeah, and they're all vastly different with different ethnicities and things, and skin tones and stuff. So, but people have a right to be upset. So, anyways, that's all we've got for you guys this week. Remember, Super Joystick Radio is a weekly show, so please subscribe and leave a review on your favorite podcast application. iTunes. Losing my voice here. $1. Oh, sorry. Become a patron at patreon.com/superjoystickradio. $1 gets you early access to the audio version of the show. $3 gets you exclusive access to our show notes and the SJR Banter Archives, where we have a bunch of content that's been cut from before, during, and after the shows over the years of doing the show. $5 gets you all the previous perks plus a Discord badge. It's fancy and shiny to stand out on the Discord server. And you get a mention on the show. Shout-outs right now to our $5 patrons: Phil Lynch, Joe Halder, Rob Belchunas, Nick, last name not specified, Caitlin, Chrissy, Justin D, Maddie Deebs, C Fresh, and Jay Schmed.
Lucio Main.
Wow. I got to soundbite that one.
Fuck yeah.
I think people were adjusting their stereos right there for sure. All tiers also get discounts in the merch store, where you can find things like SJR isolation headphones.
SJR underpants.
I like the SJR underoos that I suggested a few weeks back. SJR cookie cutters.
Ooh, SJR cooking mitts.
That we should have a cooking mitt.
We should get like an apron, like a game with this cook. Yeah, like something like that.
I like it. We'll have to think of it. I like that slogan, but I think we can think of something better.
Yeah, for sure.
It'll be good.
That's just. Sorry, Tyler.
What did he say?
He said his ears are bleeding.
Oh, there you go.
That's my bad.
And he's probably a smidge delayed too.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, all tiers also get discounts in our merch store. Oh, we just talked about that, didn't we? All right. Follow us on Twitter at SJoystickRadio. Follow us on Instagram at SuperJoystickRadio. Subscribe on YouTube for Let's Plays and streams. Sub to our Twitch channel at twitch.tv/SuperJoystickRadio so you can watch us and get notified when we go live.
Oh, yeah.
While we record the show, usually every Sunday morning. Visit superjoystickradio.com for all of our social media links. What's that?
I was gonna say we got a lot of people in the chat here today. We got some users here there, so we got some viewers. So we just want a quick shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning.
Yes,
you could have been spending your Sunday. Yeah, you could have been spending your Sunday morning doing God knows what, but you spent it with us, and we want to thank you for that. So thank you.
Yes.
You guys are champions. Thank you.
Be part of the conversation.
Yes.
All right. So then, visit superjoystickradio.com for all of our social media links in the merch store. And you can also join our Discord server on there. Shout out to our awesome Discord server, where we got a bunch of people talking about all things video games and all things everything else. There's a lot of other conversations on there, so go check that out. You can sign up through our website, superjoystickradio.com. Do you want to do a shout out for the game night?
Yeah, actually, so this week we might be changing it up. Normally we've been doing Wednesday nights, trying to get a few little things together. This, because it's coming up on May the 4th and everyone's favorite Star Wars holiday, we're trying to figure out do we just boot up some Battlefield and just
Battlefront.
Go ham and Battlefront. I apologize. Yeah. So Battlefront here on Tuesday instead of the Wednesday night normal game night and get together. So I think that'd be really great. So we're getting together. So join our Discord. Let us know what you want to do. We haven't decided if it's going to be PC. We're going to be running that, or if we're going to be doing it on PlayStation or Xbox. So just give us a shout out. Let us know what you want to do, because we want to get the squad together and have a good time. Just celebrating Star Wars, baby.
Woo woo. Woo woo. All right. Also, leave us a text message or a voicemail via the SJR hotline, 630-551-8898. That's 630-551-8898. Get in on the conversation. We'd love to hear your feedback or topic ideas on any platform. Like a grade school birthday party, nobody leaves empty-handed. Here's your goodie bag for the week. And we have the same one.
We do. Mortal Kombat! Dude, I was disappointed there wasn't that much techno fucking music. Like at the end, there was a little bit, but it wasn't even like the same techno. I was like,
Well, they definitely went for a more realistic approach. So this is Mortal Kombat on in theaters and on HBO Max.
Yeah.
And we both did not watch it together. We watched it separately. We should have done a watch party. But I watched mine. I watched it at like 4 a.m. though. It was crazy. I couldn't sleep.
Yeah, I watched mine the next day after. Unfortunately, I thought it was the week before. I like had pre-gamed. I got like a big old pizza and like some Code Red, and I was like, I got home from work and I was like, oh man, I can't wait to watch the Mortal Kombat. And then I like turned on my TV and I'm like, oh, I still have a week to go. Like I was like, I pre-gamed the wrong night.
Oh no!
I know. So then the next Friday, pizza and Mountain Dew. You better believe it. Yeah. So man, it was so good. Like. I wish there had been more heroes, and I'm like, I can't wait for the second movie.
Yeah, me too. That's really what I'm waiting for.
Yeah, I don't know. What would you think is better? Did you think this movie was better or the 90s film was better?
This one was better. Are you kidding me?
Are you joking me? No way, the 90s, bro.
Well, I had to go back and watch the 90s one, but I like the more realistic aspect of it, and then also like the fatalities were just amazing.
It was a huge homage to like all of our like childhood right there.
Exactly.
But we'll talk more about this later.
Sounds good. All right. That's what we've got for you guys. Thanks for listening and watching and joining and getting in on the conversation. We love you. And we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.